I'm sick and I don't feel good.
If I had to simplify what this video is about, this is a recap of the Mexican 1000, the so-called happiest race on Earth. But rather than simply offer just another video recap of a week-long race down the Baja California Peninsula, I wanted to share an idea. From the moment we are born, we are greeted with a slew of new experiences. New smells, new sounds, new faces. For a while, practically all of life is a blur of new. Eventually though, most of us manage to settle in for the ride. New experiences seem to scramble into the shadows of adventure and free time better spent. Few manage to maintain the romance with the road less traveled.
Alrighty folks, it is April 25th. We're a little before 8 o'clock and we are getting ready to cross the Mexican border. We are officially in Mexico, folks. Nothing to it.
While we may indeed be creatures of habit, those who continue to explore those grayed out sections of life's map tend to end up with the better dinner table stories.
Right. Gotta get the Mexican tacos on film.
Now, while a great life story is definitely on my list of things to capture while in Mexico, that isn't the only goal. This is just another story about a race after all. And with every race, you can have two goals. Win, obviously, but in some cases, just finishing the race is momentous enough to celebrate, with the participants of this year's Mexican 1000 taking on the treacheries of the Baja Peninsula. Finishing the race is definitely a victory in and of itself. So now that gives this adventure two objectives: delve back into the mystery of the unknown and win the Mexican 1000. Seems easy enough, right?
So we have officially made it to Ensenada. We've got our tacos in. Mexican tacos are great. That said, we're getting all the prep work done and then we're about to head to contingencies at some point. It's a little drizzly. I don't know if I expected that in Mexico or not, but it's all good. Everything's going smooth so far. At this point, depending on what happens at contingency, we'll have a day to fix anything that might come up, but this team is a seasoned team and they got most of their ducks in a row, but like we keep saying, it is Baja, so who knows what'll happen.
So yeah, so we're a little bit nervous. Everybody's excited. Had a lot of driving the last couple days. Had our problems getting here, but we're here.
Here's a crazy thing that I wanted to point out is obviously out here at the Mexican 1000, we've got Chris's Bronco, and I won't put the number of what it's worth because it's all blood, sweat, and tears, but I will contrast it to something like this build behind us that could have been anywhere from $500 to $700,000 to put together. You've got everything in between, all the way down to the little Baja rigs that they've got made out of fiberglass. So it is crazy to see the amount of different things that people bring out here. It's nuts.
Couple days in Mexico were the definition of the calm before the storm. The Broncos sailed through contingency with zero issues, the result of the team's methodical approach to preparation for this very moment.
Since we've been on a few races already, they kind of know that we're good to go. So.
While no fires arose that needed immediate attention, a tranquil anticipation began to brew as the storm drew closer. The next day was spent double-checking every piece of the puzzle. All the team could do was try to enjoy the final moments of whatever serenity could be found hours before that green flag dropped.
No racer here is relaxed because everybody's at least a little bit anxious, a little bit anxiety.
Who knew the happiest race on earth could have such a palpable effect on the mood of such a seasoned crew? While smiles still flashed and jokes were cracked, you could tell the gravity of Baja was beginning to settle in once again.
At the end of the day, I think everybody knows we're all here to have some fun. It's gonna get stressful at times, it's gonna get hard, but I think that this team has proven to persevere through a lot of difficulties, and they know exactly what to do. Everybody's got their role, everybody's got their lane, they've got a plan, and I'm just excited to be a part of that this year. So we're gonna do our best to tell this story. Up to this point, we've just been goofing off. This has pretty much been a car event at this point. The real veil gets torn off to a new experience starting tomorrow, because that's when the race begins. So with that said, we've got one more meal that we've got to get down, get one more bit of sleep in Ensenada, and then it's off to the races, literally. So with that said, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
All the hard work the last 3 or 4 months, tearing the truck apart, getting it back together, testing, bringing the whole crew down here, logistics, all the headaches, and all those things melt away. You know, now it's time to race.
These next days that are gonna unfold are gonna be where it gets new and different. And that's gonna be sitting in a chase truck, chasing a vehicle that's trying to win a race with a team that's trying to do their best to keep this vehicle together. Wherever I can help and not get in the way, that's what I'll be doing. So. Good deal, man. Good luck, brother. We've got engines roaring. Now this is it. Time to tear the veil off what it means to race.
Due to the fact that the chase team had quite a bit of ground to cover in order to meet the race truck at the designated pit stop location, we couldn't see Chris and Mike off the starting line. While we caught glimpses of them at different transit points during the race, we essentially had no real contact with them. Through Starlink and the live racing updates online, we had a pretty good idea of where the race truck was and how fast it was going at any given time. With day one going extremely smooth, Chris and Mike handled business, and in no time, the chase crew was waiting on the side of the road for the first pit stop and driver swap of the race.
Getting a little anxious, getting excited for sure.
Let's see the hand. Hold the hand out. All
Nerves
good.
of steel, buddy.
All
Nerves
good.
of steel.
There it is.
No! 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 Get up! Go!
Pit stop / driver swap is an impressive feat to witness. With curated accuracy, the team flows with eloquence and grace, gliding through the Mexican desert with agility and speed. Just kidding. It's a bunch of Bronco guys putting fuel in a 50-year-old truck, checking it over, making sure everything looks good. It was impressive, but eloquence and grace isn't exactly the Baja style.
Go get it, boy!
Nonetheless, the stop was seamless, and with the first leg of the race in the rearview mirror, it was time to hear what Chris thought about competing in Baja once again.
How was it?
Rough.
Yeah?
Yeah, a lot of whoops. It's all high moment because I'm in Baja, Mexico. Truck's running great. Took a couple hits, big hits, but she's good. Should be all right.
Chris said it perfectly. This was it. This was exactly what we came to do. While the team came to race, I came to capture the story of a Baja race, and that's exactly what was unfolding before my eyes. With Terry taking over driving duties for the day, all the chase team had left to do was meet him and Mike at the finish line.
End of day one. Yay. And it's daylight out.
Racing part of it.
Yeah.
Day one in the books. Super rough in spots, super slow in spots.
Yep.
But The fast stuff was fast.
Yeah.
Speaking of fast, day one seems to fly by. The team did an amazing job at every stage. With no pressing issues to attend to upon arrival in San Felipe, we enjoyed our meal and ended the day going over the race truck in preparation for tomorrow's leg of the race.
I don't know, I'm fake holding the steering wheel when there's one right here.
there.
Today's going to be a long day, but there's a good forecast of ice cream involved.
Rumbo a Bahía de Los Ángeles, espero que todo salga bien.
And it's time to drive again for a lot of miles in the desert.
I'd say we're probably mid-pack right now. I'd have 270 starters, which is pretty incredible.
Day two had a rowdy start, a reminder that trouble lurks around every corner.
Out here in Nora, anything can happen, and we just got one of the trophy trucks caught on fire right in the middle of the race. So I think all of these other drivers are having a fun time dodging this guy right in the middle of the track.
This poor carriage was one of many rigs lit up by the torturous, unrelenting chaos of the Mexican desert. Some might question the sanity of Baja racers, and others, well, they just get it. From the food to the landscape to handing out stickers to the local kids, Baja was honestly everything I imagined it to be.
That's got to be the best part right there.
It was dusty yet serene. It was chaotic yet calm. It had high and low moments.
Terrible idea.
As we spent our time bouncing back and forth between the coasts, between oasis and desert, it became clear the idea of the calm in the storm. While it may seem hectic and unplanned, if you take a step back and realize what is actually going on, you begin to understand the privilege of what you're a part of.
When you're down here in Baja, Mexico, you got to expect the unexpected.
While all that sounds romantic and joyful, you must always remember the Mexican desert is no respecter of persons or ambitions. It will just as soon swallow and spit you out as it will offer you some of the most exhilarating experiences of your life. If you're not diligent, you'll show up to the fiesta unprepared. Luckily for us, we were prepared.
When Chris called and said there's something going on with the suspension, I guess they got out and looked at it. They didn't see anything obvious, but he's coming across the road right now, so we're gonna take a look and see if we see something broken. Radius arms broke, shut it off!
All right, folks, we just got our first big major carnage. We've got a radius arm that's completely busted. This shouldn't take too long to swap though. The team is on it. We've already got it torn apart and getting after it. Here we go.
Watch us bring on the brake line.
One of the most impressive moments of this entire race was seeing the team descend upon the issue at hand with unyielding determination to get the Bronco back in the race as quick as humanly possible. In just under 40 minutes, we were sending Chris back into battle with a new radius arm. Team is everything out in Baja, but a gritty, comprehensive group of individuals willing to crawl through the dirt is what it takes to survive Baja. This team proves to be exactly that.
But when you do have to do them, it's nice to have all the proper stuff, all the proper people. Everybody jumps in, everybody helps. It's just epic. It's what makes a race team.
just like today's economy, the Baja tax required more this year than previous years.
Alrighty folks, this is gonna be a fun neck of the course. We switched the power steering pump and we still got no power steering, so Chris is gonna iron arm it. We're gonna see what happens. It's a couple hours of using all the forearm strength you can muster up, so it is not gonna be fun out here in Baja, but this is a race and you gotta do what you gotta do. This is where it gets real. I think we've got one of the first real high stress moments, because you're sending a race truck out into a race and it's not fully functioning. So now we're just crossing our fingers and we'll have to see and do our best to keep contact. So
on day 4, the steering box gave out, and that night, after the crew limped into the hotel parking lot, we spent several hours swapping the gearbox and also tackling a cracked leaf spring. The following night, we were hacking up spare leaves for the other side as well.
alrighty folks, so here's what we've got going today. We've got the lower spring completely cracked off. This one is cracking too. You probably can't see it on camera. And I think we're gonna be replacing this whole side. On this side, this uniball hasn't been taking grease for the majority of the race, and so it's probably gonna be shot here pretty soon. So we're trying to get one more day out of this race car, and it's not unachievable, I think. I think we are gonna be well on our way to finishing out this race in beautiful fashion. You know, we're 5 days in, and everybody is tired, and we've got more work to do today, so. But again, we've said it a million times, Baja, that's what happens. So.
Oh yeah, Juan's gonna make carne asada, right, Juan? We'll see. We'll see if that happens.
If you ask anyone out here, having a team that perseveres through adversity, voluntarily gets dirt and grease under their fingernails, and keeps a smile on their face is one of the most important factors to Baja. I can say with all surety that I was surrounded by a group of people with all those qualities. And heck, this wasn't even the first time. It's worth mentioning that 4 years ago, this was the exact same race team helping me patch up the pit bull in Colorado before I even knew any of their names. OG subscribers will remember that debacle. But I say all that to say this group is top tier and made this trip what it was. Unforgettable.
You know, we did all the buttoning up that we needed to last night. Got it all figured out. The rig's pretty much 100%. So we're gonna set it into the desert for the last couple hundred miles and, you know, finish this race out. So this has been an absolute blast. Who knows what could unfold in the next 8 hours, but you know, we're here for it. So let's get this last day of the race started, baby.
Six days of racing, nights spent under the stars, new food, new amigos. This trip had so many memorable moments. From the race perspective, the Greenwood team finished the race first in their class, but not without a final warning not to come back. On the last day, the passenger side radius arm decided it had seen enough of the scandalous Mexican terrain, and it too sheared in half, leaving Mike and Terry with no choice but to use whatever ratchet straps they had handy to limp the vehicle over the finish line.
As you guys remember, we replaced this radius arm. Same exact thing happened on the other side, but on top of that, it actually took out the brake line. So they had to throw some vice grips on that to have any brakes whatsoever. Ran some ratchet straps all up in here to try to keep this front end from going out underneath them, and my gosh, that is racing.
It was a storyline for the ages, one of persistence, stubbornness, problem solving, and always being willing to come back for more.
I'm ecstatic. We made it. No, we made it. That's it. We made it. 3 words. We made it.
While Mexico may have dealt several dirty hands, at the end of the race, while tired, tattered, and worn, the overarching spirit of the entire team was, heck yeah, we'll be back. I began this video by saying that I didn't want to make just another race recap video. I wanted to share an idea, and that idea, which probably hasn't been clear enough yet, is that there is beauty in the unknown.
The first time you're down here, everything's brand new. Everything. Seeing the ocean, seeing all of Mexico, seeing cactus, whatever it is. You know, you got that little, you're all in awe deal going.
I came into this race without any experience or knowledge of what to expect, and now I'm leaving with a little more light shed on the map of life. I say that to say that often we avoid new experiences out of fear or ignorance of what to expect.
This is what desert racing is about right here. Well, not really. You don't really want to fix your rig in the desert. But when you do have to fix your rig in the desert, you want good people doing it.
Where once life was strictly new experiences, eventually we grow up and tend to steer away from those ventures under the guise of comfortability and familiarity.
I think this race is so unique in the world today. A lot of people have their bubble and they don't like to come out of it. I think this race really expands that kind of thinking and understanding that there's more out there. Like there's adventure still, there's, you know, failure, there's success, and there's victory.
While I may be a young, perhaps misguided mind, my advice is to locate those grayed out sections of your own life's map and make a real plan to tackle some of those exploits. We all have a bucket list, and checking things off that list is one of the most fulfilling things you can do. Whether an adventure, a mission, or a lifelong purpose, seeing the fruits of those efforts is something everyone can and should experience.
I mean, if it's in your dream and you're able to realize it, at least try to realize it, whatever it is, you know.
Get in the dirt, get in the cactus, and get to it.
If possible, doing all of this with an amazing group of people makes it all the more enjoyable.
For one, you got to have a good team. A good team will get you through the chase, through any breakage, through anything that needs to happen.
Every time you come to Baja, there's a price to be paid, and it's usually in parts and tempers and all of those good things. We've borrowed parts, we've cut things up, we've made things that weren't meant to do something. There's peaks of chaos, you know. You get somewhere, you got something that's broken, you got to fix it. Mosey on down the road to the next problem, and you fix it when you get there.
My hat is off to the team for all their hard work and preparation. My thoughts and prayers are with the families of those lost to the storm of Baja this year. While the Mexican 1000 is no easy task to accomplish, I can truly say I've learned so much, and I look forward to one day making it back out to Baja again. With all of that being said, we'll see you out there on the trail. Peace!